that I started in Birmingham on my 21st birthday
Where at?
at West Bromwich in the Black Country, just to the west of Birmingham. I spent 17 years down there, and then my boss took me to Manchester to take over the chief's job of the anti-ticket fraud squad for the northwest of England to Manchester in 1977, March 1977. Spent about 15 years up there. 12 months assistant chief, and then took over as chief a year later.
So what did you do when you first came on the railway?
I started on my 21st birthday, that's 1950, 1930, 40, 50, 51, on the 4th of December 1951. I started on the railway.
What was your job?
Started as a porter,
Station
a
porter?
leading porter in West Bromwich.
Yeah.
And within a month, I was senior porter because my porter went back to Dublin. He was an Irish chap. He wanted to get back home. And then from then on, 3 months later, I was out on the district, doing everything, lamping and tracking, signalling, anything at all. And also with that station box on the end of the platform, and it was very handy. I could spend all my spare time in there with the signalman.
Which box was that?
And then eventually out to the different boxes all over the Midlands, especially most of them to the Wolverhampton direction.
Yeah.
Much better because I like the Black Country, so to speak, West Brom, and my relations were all over that side, in the Wednesbury, West Bromwich area.
So you ended up, you said at some point you worked Wolverhampton low level.
Sorry.
You worked Wolverhampton low level at some point?
Oh yeah, low level was my base. Yeah, was one of my bases. I used to go there. We had my lamping headquarters there.
Yeah.
But they eventually put me in charge of everything. So the district a lot, from portering to inspectors, clerks, station master, every damn thing. I had to do everything. Derailments, the lot, buses, and all that sort of thing. He took charge of buses.
You mentioned somewhere there was a signal you used to climb, you could have a look into the factories. Where was that?
The actual, there was first of all, I had my signal box at West Bromwich, the signalman there, Joe, another Joe, there was 12 of us there, 12 Joes working at West Brom. And Joe was my signalman, and he was great, he was. He had me in and out of the box as often as he could. But then I went on the district business, and that took me to Wolverhampton the ground frame, where you left the Wolverhampton low level for the Shrewsbury line, or Shrewsbury and Chester, up North Wales. There's a ground frame there at Wolverhampton low level. And there's a woman that showed me how to work that and do the system. Yeah.
Did you ever end up at Snow Hill?
No, I never got into the box at Snow Hill, but I done the what do you call it? The speaker.
Oh,
the platform, the announcing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I done the announcing. I trained on the box there first, and I worked there for 3 or 4 years as anti-fraud inspector there on the high level with the ticket collectors, and also travelling backwards and forwards to Paddington. Once they were short of a travelling ticket collector, them days, the Pullman crash, the blue Pullman crash.
That was the one that was reversing out, wasn't it?
That was when they turned around and said to me, I was going on the 1 o'clock Pullman to Paddington. that day because there was no ticket collector to take the train. And the result was the foreman came down and he says, "Joe," he says, "you can leave the train. There's only a few people on it." So he says, "Go up the Stratford line." And I finished up at Shirley when I heard about the crash.
Yeah.
2 drivers were killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse.
Bloody let a car train out.
Yeah.
In front of an express.
You mentioned Cradley Heath box. You mentioned Cradley Heath box.
Oh, Cradley, that was on the line job, doing the lamps.
Yeah.
There was a lamp post right at the level crossing, and I went up that one day to do it, and I suddenly realised there was the Swan, what do you call it, factory? The
Cookers.
The cookery, the cooking company.
Yeah.
The manufacture all the pots and pans alongside the crossing, and you could look straight down and wave to the staff and everything. Yeah, that's the Black Country. Yeah, Cradley Heath. I like that out to Kidderminster, places like that, because our patch was down to as far as Hereford. We could go as far as Hereford in the Birmingham division.
Yeah.
Down to Banbury.
So
Hayford.
Did you ever cover the Severn Valley line, Bewdley?
The Severn Valley, no. I didn't work it. I've travelled on it many times, but never worked it. Once I was on it when they had a diesel overrun a group of sheep. And I had to go out as inspector to make sure the line was safe and that, with the gangs and that, make sure everything was cleared. Yeah, because I had a derailment at Stratford once, Stratford on Avon. I was there in 1958, and we had a derailment, and the engineers and everything else, we all got together, everything perfect, no trouble at all. We got the whole thing settled inside an hour or two. Yeah. That's what I said. And we used to do the banking engines for the long distance expresses coming from Cornwall, Cardiff and everywhere, coming up the bank at Stratford. There was about 3 miles of it up to Wimslow and Dennis Level. And the engines would come back down. They'd be onto the rear. They'd push them up. And then come back, and you were liable for that.
Was that the Licky?
Eh?
The Licky incline?
No. Oh, that was another bloody set that I never got on for that. I've been on the trains through the Licky things when they put the engines on the back. And I had a chap actually put me on his engine to let me see what they do. Because I said to him, I do the banking engines at Stratford and Avon. He says, "Well, you know we do them here at the Lickies. We have to." Oh, I says, "Yeah, I never thought of the Lickies." He says, "Come on the engine," he says, "we'll give you a run up." He says, "and see how the things go." Because I like the Lickies and the Morbans. I like that lovely, beautiful area. But I had to be responsible for the type of engines, because they'd signal you well in advance from Bristol or Cheltenham or Gloucester what type of what type of train was coming, how many coaches, all that, because they were limited on coaches for the bank. And then we'd have an engine in the siding, just opposite the station, but to the left, in the siding, and he'd come out behind the train. Yeah.